Good afternoon, les amis. I am your host, Alistair. You know, there is a huge gap between expectation and reality when it comes to investing or even becoming an investor. I think there's this idea that all you really need to do is put like X amount of money, a small amount of money towards a venture, and then tada, it's going to be great and magic. I think there's this allure and there's this attraction to not working and having a poop ton of money. And so I'm going to throw some numbers at you and give you a reality check, because at the end of the day, you are the only one who has to pay the consequences for your actions. And so let's go through this video and then you can deduct your own personal conclusions from real numbers. The average household operating expenses for the year is about $72,000. But there's a lot of confounding variables that comes into that. So let's scale it back and go with the individual person. So the individual person operating cost for the year is roughly about $38,000, right? Maybe like $3,000 and change a month. So what does that mean, operating cost? That's like rent, food, transportation, all the taxes, the medical expenses, right? Everything except entertainment. Just to be clear, that's operating expenses. That's the money you don't see. That's how much it costs for you to be a functional member of society. Let's use a case study for this example. You make $70,000 a year. We're going to deduct the $38,000 a year operating costs out of that. So you're left with $32,000. Now keep in mind, we did not factor in the confounding variables on the operating expenses, okay? So we're going to enter and introduce those confounding variables. Let's just assume that you have student loans. Most people have student loans. The average student loan is like $500 a month, let's just say. So already we have over $5,000 a year off. So now the $32,000 becomes a $26,000. Let's introduce now entertainment, clothes, etc. and etc. So we're going to bring a $26,000, let's be conservative, to $20,000 of disposable income. Now let's factor in the credit card payments. The average credit card payment is about $400 per month, let's just say. So we take your $20,000, remove the $400 a month, and now you're left with $15,200 per year. That's your new disposable income, but we're not done yet. The average car payment is roughly $500 a month. So we're going to deduct $6,000 from the $10,000. So we're left with $9,200. That's your new bottom line, but we're not done yet. The average vacation, at least here in the US, is roughly about 2 weeks. So yeah, not enough vacation time. Yeah. But the average amount of money spent per week is about $2,000. So let's be conservative. Let's make it $1,500, 2 weeks, so $3,000. So we're now going to deduct $3,000 from our $9,200. So we're left with $6,200. So for our case study, which is not far from the truth, grosso modo wise, right? We have a disposable income of $9,200. Now let's see what you can do with that when it comes to investing. The most common avenue sold to the average person is real estate. You hear it everywhere. Get into real estate, buy a rental, put a tenant in there, they pay your mortgage, and then you just get a free house. And you know, you get so happy, you get all this free money, it's easy. And everybody buys into it. I'll tell you why later at the end of this video. But let's analyze based on the average disposable income of the average person, at least living here in America. With $9,200, it's not enough for a down payment for any home. No bank is going to give you a mortgage. Okay, fine. You might say to yourself, well, you don't need to put 20% down. You could put 5% down. Do you know that if you put 5% down, you're going to have to pay more money. You're going to have to get into more debt. And then you won't have any leftover to absorb any potential cost when it comes to running the business of being a landlord. Then what do you do? What do you do? Right? So getting into real estate for the average person is not a wise decision. But nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that because they get nothing out of it if you don't buy their course or go to their little lectures, yeah, of course, right? If anything, if you go into these lectures and courses, they pressure you to get credit cards and loans so you can afford the 20% down and get yourself more into debt. The dream. They sell you a dream and you buy into it. But let's just assume that maybe you fell into someone who's not advertising getting into hard real estate. So here are the other options, right? A REIT. But here's the problem with the REIT. The REIT is not advertised the same way. Matter of fact, a REIT never comes up. Real estate investment trust. Yes, it's a good way to enter the market, but you're not going to get the same idealistic return that's being advertised out there. The real reason why REITs are not catching the attention of the average person is because the returns of REITs are very small. It's a dividend income. To be able to make a lot of money on a dividend income, you have to pump a lot of capital into that particular investment that the average person does not have. But nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that. They tell you and they sell you the story that you're most likely going to capture. Okay, fine. Let's go another option when it comes to real estate. Okay? Wholesaling. Do you know what that is, wholesaling? Wholesaling is when you knock on the door of someone and say, hello, my name is Alistair. Do you want to sell your house? Oh, you do? Well, do you want to sign a contract with me? Oh, perfect. And then you take that contract and you go to an investor and you sell that contract for a profit. And it sounds really easy, doesn't it? It sounds like roses, very simple. When was the last time you answered the door to a stranger? Fine, you open the door. When was the last time you answered the door to a stranger asking if you want to sell your house? And you're like, sure, why not? I'll give you the contract. When was the last time you even entertained a phone call from someone that's not in your contacts? Do you see how much effort and energy you have to put in for a meager return? The reason why wholesale is not advertised as heavy as a rental real estate is because there's crumbs to be made out of wholesale. You have to put in so much effort that you would need to either quit your job, do it full time. You have to pump so much energy outside of your time of just your regular job, because remember, you're the average person. You don't have the capital to just do this full time. You need to keep your job, right? Wholesale is not an option for you. All right, then there's one more, Alistair, leasing option. Leasing option, pretty much what does that mean? Is that you offer to rent the property with the option to buy it later. Now, I don't know about you, I'm a landlord, and I could tell you right now, why would I put that as an option? And landlords who put that as an option are literally like diamonds. You will never find them, so you're wasting your time there. And this is just a standard scenario for just the average person, which is most people. And so to give you an idea that most people are not ready to invest into real estate the way you might think people should invest into real estate. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm just giving you the reality. In other words, if you make an income of $70,000 and you have these expenses that are very similar to what into the case study, you're not ready to dabble into investing, and therefore you fall into the category that I call too soon, too fast, too dangerous. Right? Too soon, you don't make enough money. Too fast, you're expecting huge return too quickly. That's not how money works. And too dangerous, because most likely you're going to fail. And then consequences will arise. There is a monetary cycle, and that monetary cycle is 30 days. Your bills are factored in within 30 days. Your income is factored in within 30 days. Anything outside of 30 days are outliers. Financial institutions factor things within 30 days. Your bank statements are analyzed within 30 days. And so why too fast, too soon, too dangerous? It's because in our society, in life really, It's easy. Money disappears like that, like air. Like air. It's so easy to get over leverage, but you have to wait 30 days for it to come in. So if you ever fall into a bind, you have to wait 30 days. And that's if you have an income. And that's if you don't have any other sources eating away at your income. And don't forget, you have to pay taxes. So you never really get the full value of your income. It's very significant. And that's why investing, like one of my prior video, it can be very dangerous if you're very clueless and careless about it. If anyone sells you anything less than extreme hard work, absolute sacrifice, and a budgeting structure, run away. They are selling you a lie. Passive income does not exist. I'll give you one more example. To be able to have a dividend income of $1,000, you need to have $300,000 in capital. Who has that? That's not the average person. So you need to have $300,000 sitting around in an account to be able to get $1,000 a month in cash, which, you pay taxes on that, so it's not even really $1,000. But who has that money to just lay around there and just sit there? Do you understand how the average person falls into this trap of a dream? Of a dream? It's just a dream. The reality is, the reality of being an investor is extremely boring. The reality of being an investor is as such. You save your money, you save your money, you save your money, and then when you have enough, you buy it in cash, or you buy it with the most amount of capital down, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then once you save your money again, you make another investment. And over time, over years, over a buildup of sacrifices, then you start to see the ball rolling. It is extremely slow and boring. That is the reality and the life of an investor. It's not running around on a private jet. It's not running around, after deals, because not every deal is a good deal. And you have a limited amount of energy, and you need to divert that energy to where it really is the most needed. And my friends, pick real estate because it's the one that the average person falls for. And it's the one that people dream about the most. There's other avenues. You have mutual funds, index funds. You have brokerage accounts. You have so many other avenues than real estate. If you are a low income person, you don't have to get into real estate. A rental, look, I'm a landlord. I'm telling you, it's not even for debate. I am telling you, it's not passive. Too soon. In other words, don't rush. Wait, save your money. Wait, focus on increasing your income. And then save, wait. Too fast because you have to wait. And then when you have enough, then you make the investment. And too dangerous because if you don't calculate the risk very well, you can find yourself with a poor investment and you can lose money. And if you don't have the buffer and the capital to absorb the bleed, you can bleed. And I hate to say it, in life there are losers and there are winners. And such is nature. Don't lose. Position yourself to win. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Press like, subscribe. I will see you next time. I'm your host, Alistair.